Welcome to CIN5 Reflections, the place where we take a break from a regular CIN5 episode to reflect back on the previous 5 CIN5s and see what themes have surfaced over those episodes. In the last 5 episodes, we've seen the theme come up over and over again that improving every day, rocket fuel for change, is the real theme that comes up. And in episode 6, Grzanka really surfaces that as she says that lean, well, that PDCA every day, it can't be copy-pasted, and you can't copy-paste your way to big change.
So I think, plan and do we're all really good at. We're not as good at going back and checking results and making the adjustments. So copying was probably a fine thing to do, but then the fact that we didn't go back and check it against what we were looking for in the plan and adjusted it, it just became wallpaper.
So the lesson from Maria? If you want your continuous improvement to lead to big change and be more of a Picasso than a wallpaper, then don't forget the CA in PDCA. Now for Jaclyn Harder in episode 7, she started learning early on the importance of being able to learn and adjust.
From a very young age, I've always wanted to be an encyclopedia. And I figured that by knowing things in advance, I'd be able to avoid some common pitfalls. And I don't know at what age I came up with that. I'm trying to gather as much information as possible so that I can avoid or anticipate situations. So it's almost like I was born lean, like I was born trying to predict how to make things better. So the never-ending learning for me, what I learned from people, what I learned from the process, is so fundamental to the passion that I have, because I have a very deep service mentality. I want to help people. And so for me, learning new things about how to help people, it's just like finding gold.
That's a beautiful picture there, Jaclyn, of how when we use all the great process improvement tools we have at our disposal in Lean, it not only leads to big change in the business, but it also leads to uncovering buried treasure in others. Now for Crystal Davis in episode 8, she talks about a time when a manager of hers took a really bad situation and turned it around using Lean tools. Not only did it help the business, but it helped the people feel like $1 million.
The plant manager basically decided that we were going to do everything we could to give it a try to turn things around. And he did so in a way that was inclusive. He said, we got these books, let's read, let's put our heads together, let's collaborate. I learned basically that it was his leadership and willingness to trust and to try and to experiment. So it was that leadership that I later realized upon reflecting was the one pivotal thing that drew me in. I felt inclusive in meaningful work.
You're right, Crystal. If we want to get to that place where we see big change, we all need to be willing to be engaged, be willing to trust others, and willing to try new things. In episode 9 with Karidja Sakanogo, she talks about the importance of humility and being willing to see that small steps lead to big change, because after all, with Lean, the sky is the limit.
You have to be enough humble to understand that you cannot achieve big goals unless you go through small goals. So you have to be enough humble to understand that you need other people. It's a cooperation, collaboration. You need to be with others. You need to get everyone involved. Then you have to be enough humble to understand that you will never be an expert in continuous improvement, because each situation is unique. So humility is basically the most important value that comes along with continuous improvement that makes me feel happy.
Man, Karidja, you could say that 1,000,000 times over and it wouldn't get old. Humility is the secret sauce. It's the key ingredient to getting that big change that we want to see with our continuous improvement processes. Now for Calvin Williams in episode 10, he talks about the importance of realizing that we don't have to hit the ball out of the ballpark in order to win the big game. We just have to be practicing continuous improvement every day.
And it doesn't have to be home run improvements every day. As a matter of fact, if you just do the math, a 1% improvement every day gets you to 38 times better results at the end of a year. There is no person that I know who could not find an easy, low-hanging fruit 1% improvement on a daily basis, right? And that is momentum. So if everybody improving every day, think of everybody as speed, improving as direction, and every day as momentum, you got a powerful recipe for continuous improvement. That's the piece that keeps me going. I got a lot of fuel in that tank. So Sam, if you you up for a long journey, let's go. Let's go.
I'm with Calvin. How about you? Let's get ready for this journey. Let's get ready for this ride, because with continuous improvement, improving every day, it's rocket fuel for change. Now, I'm so glad you joined me here today on CIN5 Reflections, and of course next week we'll be back with our regular CIN5 with one of your favorite lean thinkers. We'll talk to you and tell you about their CIN5. Until then, you can visit me right here on the YouTube channel at Sam Loves Lean. And as always, until next week, stay calm and Kaizen.